So, at this point of time, I'll also open the floor for discussions. You have a question, please raise your hand while the discussion, of course, will continue on the podium. Coming to you, Mr. Khaitan, I would like to know, I have always been of the belief that entrepreneurship is about may the best man win. But it's not really so. The entrepreneurship as a process keeps on changing as your level or your scale of business really starts growing up. So you would have a different quality of leadership when you are, let's say, an X crore company, and then your different style of leadership and different level of participation in business when you are a larger company. Now, what do you think should be the qualities of the entrepreneurs, or how should they, I would say, of course, not that they can change, but what should they be in terms of being able to achieve the kind of scale, the growth, and as he said very well about the management principle, how do you keep changing or evolving yourself as an entrepreneur to achieve the growth you want?
A very good question, Ritu. I think what I would give number one priority to is focus. Unless an entrepreneur is focused towards what he wants and what he wants to achieve, nothing can be done. To give you two small examples, say when during the Kargil war, this was told to me by the commanding officer of the Indian Army. They had given instructions to our soldiers that they want the Tiger Hill, in which the Pakistanis were there, captured. And he said the focus this battalion showed in capturing the Tiger Hill was remarkable. So I think, Ritu, one thing very, very important for, any stage, be it the starting stage or the middle stage, or you could be a 100 billion turnover company. Your focus has to be there in an entrepreneur. That is one very important thing. Second important thing is you must have the guts. If you are getting into entrepreneurship, you're going to employ people. Don't get scared. Run the company, run your enterprise by involving people. Because a lot of times we see in corporate sector that you say things and things don't get done. Again, you tell them, they don't get done. But when you realize why, because you've not involved the people who are supposed to do it. You just can't take a decision in an air-conditioned room or a conference room or, with, various presentations. You have to involve them. You have to discuss with them. You have to understand their problems. And once they're involved, and then a decision is taken, you'll see implementation will go like this. So, that's another thing very important, that you must know how to involve your people, an entrepreneur. And the third most important thing is an entrepreneur must be a good assessor of his own people, of the people he interacts with, analyze their strengths and weaknesses, and then always, downplay the weaknesses, because there's no point rubbing some human being on his weakness day in and day out, because that's not going to do any good. It's best to exploit or to capitalize on his strength, Ritu. And the last, of course, there are, many more, but I don't want to stretch the session, is self-discipline. Because if you see the word discipline, like you calculate the letter, D, it comes A, B, C, D. So you just put number 4 there. Accordingly, you just put the numbers of the word discipline, and that equals to 100. That is only one word in the English dictionary which equals to 100. And you can just try it on your, pad and see to it. So self-discipline is very, very important also in an entrepreneur. And the last is, entrepreneurship is nothing but the art of seeing the invisible. Any human being who can see the invisible, he has to be very, very successful. So that's very, very important. And of course, last thing is that never have negativity in life. Hardships will be there. Life is not easy. But as I said, if you keep your focus, if you keep walking, as per the Johnny Walker advertisement, I think that's one of the best ads I've seen, which says, keep walking. So just keep walking towards your goal, and you will succeed. So I think these are some of the main attributes.
Can I just add a line? Can I just add a line to what you said? So the question was that how do you sort of move ahead, as an entrepreneur? One of the things, again, I want to share, that I've at least personally learned, and what I observe all around me, even in my employees, हम लोग काम करने में इतने busy हैं कि हमारे पास काम करने का time नहीं है. You look at the entire day and the entire day finishes and you wonder, what the hell did I just do in my entire day? I attended 4 meetings, I wrote so many emails, I did something, and at the end of the day you realize that I really didn't do anything the whole day. So one of the most important things that I've learned is that, and knowing entrepreneurs the way I know everybody is, they'll work even on Sundays, they'll go to their factories or they'll go to their sites, or they'll be still involved on Sundays. It's actually to take a little bit of a step back also, take a Sunday off, but use it for understanding what is happening around you. Because what happens is we get so cocooned up in our own work and in our own company and in our own small little targets that we forget that there is a bigger picture which is driving our entire business. So I think that bigger picture and where the consumer is headed on a mass scale, if you're not able to sort of latch onto it at the right time, you're going to realize one day that you're running your business and suddenly you're out of business because nobody wants to buy anything from you because the market is sort of moved on. So I think that's one of the most important things also that you must do if you want to move ahead in business.
Absolutely. In fact, that was my next question.
I'll just take it on from Nayan here. Just to extend what Nayan said, just take all of us know a classic example of, visualizing the future. Now, Hindustan Motors didn't visualize the future. They kept on making ambassador cars. They never even thought of modernizing their cars. What happened? In came Maruti, ambassador gone. So I think you're very correct. You must visualize the future and you must anticipate the change coming, as you asked me, on the pharmaceutical sector.
Yeah, so great. So that is where my next point would actually be. So how do you actually, where do you get inspired to change? You said, you're right, you're saying take Sunday off, probably look around things, what's happening. But where does this inspiration come from? Do you look within your own industry? Do you look outside the industry? How do you start getting inspired to thinking beyond your business or looking at ideas outside of your business? Where does that start from?
I think it should first of all start from the will to change. And one of the most important things that, or the biggest challenges I've faced is in being able to inspire people who are working with us in the first place. Being able to connect with our own employees. We get so busy, we only deal with the first layer. We don't know what the hell is happening in all the hundreds of people working, down the line. So you need to always be connected at all levels. You need to be connected even with your channel partners, or either channel partners or sales agents, or on the other side, maybe subcontractors or, whoever other people who are working with you, to actually assess what is happening in the local market. And the second, obviously, the new god is internet in the world. You search up anything, it's going to throw you an answer. And I don't think for whatever industry that anybody might be working in, you just go on YouTube and you look at what the people are doing, what MIT Labs is doing, what Harvard Business School is saying about the same thing, and what are the global trends that are kind of going in one direction that you should look at. I actually get very surprised when I look at our market. India is such a unique market, and people are still, there's so much scope for growth and there's so much opportunity here because it's such a confused market, or call it, it's so crowded. There's so much noise around you. People just need simplicity. People need ease of operation. People need, less time, more bang for your buck. And there are solutions which need to be created, I think, across platform. In the pharma industry, I know somebody recently came up with an app where you can just order medicines and on your phone and they'll reach home. And there are even prescription apps nowadays, wherein they'll tell you, so doctor on call, or you have a problem anywhere in your body, you just type in the app, it'll tell you what all other prescription medicines or which doctor to call, who'll guide you and sort of send the medicines home. Now, these sorts of things are the future. In our business, the construction technology is only one side of the things, but even transaction level, or the sales level things, whether it's in our business or FMCG or electronics or any other sector, things are moving so fast. People don't have time nowadays. People just, they're already working 9 to 6 jobs, plus they come back home at 7, 8. They need time to play with their children, spend with their wives. All the time is sort of consumed in so many things. You need ease of simplicity, and you need to be thinking, like the consumer all the time. Always, I tell my people, boss, if you're not thinking like the consumer, then you're just wasting your time. Be on the other side, be on the receiving side, and then understand what is wrong with us, and then try to improve it.
Sure. Wonderful point. You like to add to that? Where does the inspiration to change really come from?
I think one of the biggest change is right from the chairman and the CEO, basically. A lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of focus. If the CEO is constantly at this, you will find the whole thing will percolate down to say the janitor or the sweeper of the organization, So I think that's one of the key factors, that the top man has to be energetic, he has to be a motivator, he has to manage while walking rather than sitting in his room, and that's where the change comes from, according to me.
It has to start from the top. So
Absolutely.
Now considering that you made a good point on focus, your focus would also probably keep changing over a period of time. So, earlier when you were a startup, your entire focus was very, very strong because you were doing things yourself. But at some point of time, you would have a big team, a small team, and then a big team. Your focus needs to then be on the team and whether they are being able to achieve what you achieved. And another thing which I probably also feel is that most of the times you see people are looking for like-minded people. I see CEOs, chairmen, always looking for people like themselves. But the fact is a good team is always it is a myriad of people. There would be some people who will be extremely energetic, some people who will be lethargic, but they'll be good at achieving things in whatever little time they work. So, you have to have people who are all sorts in your team to get the right results, because one set of people will not get you the right results. So, and then your focus, as I said, would need to be on making sure that the team is able to achieve whatever the organization had set out to achieve. So if we don't have questions, I'll ask our panelists to give a parting word before we conclude this session. So, Nayan?
So, so just to add to what you were just saying, and this is one of the most relevant things, because at the end of the day, the trouble with our entrepreneurs in India, one of the biggest problems is they want to try to do everything themselves. So, they need to, what we need to understand is that, boss, beyond a certain point, you will not have time, but you'll have too much work. So learn how to build teams efficiently who can take decisions on your behalf and who have been groomed a certain manner so that they can take over the strategic parts of the business, and you only look at what you are supposed to look at, which is the bigger picture. And I think that's a challenge I think every entrepreneur will face at some point in time. I think the second biggest challenge with entrepreneurs is they get really bogged down with the licensing, with the bureaucracy and the government-related approvals and all these things, which unfortunately there is not a clear solution for this, except that I can say use the same carrot and stick procedure to get all your clearances, all your approvals done in time. But there's a bright road ahead if you have the passion and the zeal to succeed, and if you have the knack or the ability, like Mr. Khetan said, to see or foresee what the consumer is thinking and what the future may be. You just need to work towards your goal, man. You're going to make it.
Sure. That's a wonderful point. Any parting words, sir?
Yeah, my parting word is basically on the finance for the young entrepreneurs. You must take a lot of training on the utilization of finance, which the banks or from wherever source you get the finance. Because irrespective of whatever the banks say and whatever the government has said that the MSMEs are into the priority sector of lending at 4% interest, but the banks just don't give money. I mean, they just don't lend money because they're very scared that once they lend money, their money won't come back. So I think financial discipline and financial training is of extreme importance. And just to conclude, I'd like to say a very, very small poetry from Shri Harivansh Rai Ji Bachchan. It says like this, and this is just to conclude, Sir Ritu. लहरों से डरकर नैया पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती, असफलता एक चुनौती है, स्वीकार करो, क्या कमी रह गई है, देखो और सुधार करो, जब तक न सफल हो, नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, संघर्षों का मैदान छोड़ मत भागो तुम, कुछ किए बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती.
Wonderful. Wonderful words, sir. Very inspirational indeed for all the entrepreneurs present over here.